Hello and welcome to video number 13. This is me learning how to use the Octatrack Mk.II and showing you how I do it as I do it. And what I thought I'd do today is to hook up my OPXY, made by Teenage Engineering of course, to the Octatrack. I'm going to use a song on the OPXY. I've got the two MIDI together. The OPXY uses a Type A TRS MIDI in cable, so that's the same as my Dirty Wave M8. The setup is as follows. I've made the track 8 into the master track in the normal way. See, master is ticked there, checked. That's good. So setup here, project, MIDI, sync, yes. I've turned on the transport and the clock send. And on the OPXY I've set that to receive transport and clock, so that's fine. Also on that MIDI page, under control, I've just turned everything off basically. I mean, audio CC in wouldn't make any difference, but I've turned it off anyway. I've made audio CC out internal, audio note in, off, doesn't matter really, but audio note out internal, so nothing is being sent, because I found the other day that when I was using the FX1 I was turning up the reverb and the delay on the OPXY and I didn't want that. This stops anything going out to the OPXY in terms of control change messages. Tempo is set at 120, that's fine, we'll just leave that. So under function and pattern I've changed the scale mode to per track, that's fine. I'm going to use track 7 to do my recordings on, so if I hold function and page I've changed that to 64, so it's a 4-bar pattern, and I've changed the master to 64, so that's all good. So we're going to record loops from the OPXY into track 7 and we're going to use those loops on the other tracks until we run out of tracks. So the record button is turned on now. I'm going to put a trig on the first step there. Now I'm going to hold function and record 1. I'm going to put another trig there and I'm going to change that to a one shot by holding function and that trig again, and it's turned yellow. So now we've got both a one shot record trig and a playback trig on beat 1. So if I hold function and bank, you can see there's a playback trig and a record trig on that first step. Nothing anywhere else, that's good. Come out of that. So this means that the Octatrack will record for 4 bars and then immediately play back what's been recorded. Let's go to that function record 1 page. A few settings to make here. We are going to make the record length 64 because that's the same as the pattern length. I'm going to turn the loop off. I'm going to set the trig to 1, 2, I'm not sure that's necessary. I'm going to hold down this one shot trig. I'm going to turn off the A, B and the CD but leave the Rec 3 lights on, the internal lights on. I'm going to change the source 3 to track 8 by rotating the E encoder. There we are, T8. So now we are recording what's coming out of the master. So anything that's playing is going to get recorded into track 7. Going to turn the main level control all the way up. Now a double tap T7. This is a static track at the moment, so I need to change that to a flex track like that, yes. A double tap that again. Come up to recording buffer 7, yes, no, so that's good. Just to remind you here, we make the recording with the crossfader in the A position and we play it back in the B position. So track 7 is simply being used to record the incoming audio from our OPXY, and then we'll save those loops and use them on other tracks. So I'm going to press mix for the mixer. Going to press and hold the crossfader button B. Going to change that to 16. Okay. Going to press the B button again. Going to change the X direct so it says minimum. Okay. This stops any incoming audio being heard when the crossfader is over in the B position. If I press the A here, you can see X direct is set at 0, so 0 dB, and over here with the B position it's set to minimum, off if you like. Now without pressing the B button, I'm going to turn the direct up to 127. With the B button on, it's set to minimum, and with it off, in other words in the A position, it's set to full on 127. Going to go to the main page, going to press amp, I'm going to hold the B button down, I'm going to press down on the D encoder, that's jumped to +7, it should be 0. So let go, and then without pressing the button, turn that volume down to 64. So press the B button, it's set to 0 dB, which is sort of normal, okay? And then with it off, it's all the way down. So with the crossfader in the A position, we'll hear the incoming live instrument, and in the B position, we'll only hear the recording. So let's set things in motion by pressing the play button, and we should hear the OPXY with the crossfader in the A position, and when I move it over to the B, it should be silent. I've only got a little drum pattern on this at the moment. I've muted the other tracks as it stands. Now I'm going to press and hold track 7, and I'm going to press the yes to arm track 7. Okay, that's good. I've already recorded a sample this morning, but I'm going to record over that. So if I press play on the Octatrack, we'll begin recording 4 bars of the OPXY. You'll see it come in, and then once it's complete, we'll be able to play it back in the B position. So here we go. Coming in. That's done. Move over to the B position. That's the recording. If I press stop on the OPXY, see, nothing there, and there's our recording. So that's good. Now we can rotate the D encoder to bring it up a bit so we can see a bit better, that's fine. Now we need to save this recording, so we hold Function and Rec 3, come down to save this recording, yes. It's got today's date as the name, so we'll hold Q and No to get rid of that. Give it a new name and speed the video up, of course. The song is called Saturday. I've just abbreviated that to SAT1 just for quickness, so that's fine. So yes, saving sample. Now we're going to choose Assign to Free Static here. If I choose Assign to Self, it's simply going to be put back on that buffer, which we'll lose if we turn the machine off. So I'm going to assign it to Free Static. It should go to slot 1 and say yes. Yes, assign to static 1. So if I double tap track 1, okay, and you can see it's gone in there, already been assigned. So what I need to do now is to go into the mixer, and I'm just going to turn off everything except track 1. So we should have that recording on track 1. Now the next thing we need to do is to hold Function and Page on track 1, and we need to set this to 4 bars, 64 out of 64. That's fine. Now I need to put a playback trig on the first step of the first bar, so that's the only trig, and it should play that recording we've made. That's great. Let's save this, function and project, yes. Right, let's go into the OPXY and change the settings here a bit. So I'm going to go to track 1, I'm going to mute that. I'm going to turn track 3 on. So this is the bass, one of my bass tracks on this. So back to track 7. I think I'll turn track 1 off at the moment. Mixer, track 1, turn track 7 on. And I think it should all be set up now to record the next track. I go over to the A. So I need to re-arm the track 7, and yes, that's armed. Hold the AED. Now we should see the bass synth coming in for 4 bars now. So that's the live, and there's the recording. That's good, excellent. So we need to go to Function and Rec 3, save this recording, yes, give it a name, so we'll hold Q and No, we'll call this Sat Bass, yes. Assign to free static, yes. It should go to 2, slot 2. Now, if I go to the mixer and turn on the track 2, right, I need to go to function and page, make this 4 bars, like that, come out of that, sat bass, that's good. I need to put a trig at the beginning of that first bar, make sure there's no other trigs. So we should hear that bass part on track 2, and I need to remember to turn track 7 off. So we should have a bass part here. Let's put the drums in as well. That's perfect. Now in my headphones the kick drum on that track 1 is really thundering, so we need to EQ that bit, don't we? So let's go to the main page, track 1, let's go to the effects and we'll go to the DJ equalizer, I think, for this. So we'll change that to DJ EQ, yes. And I'm just going to experiment with the filtering. I'm going to turn track 2 off for the moment. It's a bit better, isn't it? Okay, let's put another track in off our OPXY. So I'm going to go to the mixer, going to turn off tracks 1 and 2, turn track 7 on again, come back to the OPXY, we'll mute that bass. Let's put in an organ patch, which I think sounds quite nice. That one there, that's fine. Let's come to the main page. Let's turn the AED on so we can see the sample coming in. There's our recording. That should be okay. Function and Rec 3, save this recording. Yes. Yes. Assign to free static. Now I'll probably go to 4. Yes, it's gone to 4 because 3 was where the error was. Can I assign that slot to this track? Let's have a look. So yes. Now we should have right, so it's quite loud. Let's turn it down a bit. Put the other tracks in. That's good. Let's save. Yes. Let's turn those tracks off again in the mixer. Track 7's on. Should have turned it off, but I forgot. Never mind. So we'll go to track 7. So we'll mute that organ track. Got quite a nice little sequence here, and we'll make sure that's running. Right, so let's arm track 7 again. Yes, recording buffer 7. So we should be able to record the sample of this little sequence on the OPXY. I keep forgetting to move the crossfader over. Let's rearm it. That's probably where I went wrong before. Arm track. Here we go then. It is the same thing over and over again. So there we are. There's the recording. That's good. So usual thing, function and record. Save this recording. Yes. There we go. Yes. Assign to free static, it will go to 5. I'm actually going to use it on track 4. So let's go to the mixer, turn off track 7, forgot to do that last time. Turn on track 4, double tap that, and we're going to move it down to slot 5 on track 4, yes. Now let's just come back to track 4, hold function and page, press page button until we get 64 at 64. That's good. Let's put a playback trig there. Let's put the other tracks in. It's all playing perfectly in time. That's great. Now I'm going to turn down the OPXY. Now that organ's a bit dry, isn't it? Let's just isolate that. Let's put some reverb on that, shall we? So on track 3, which is the organ, let's change this to plate reverb. Yes. Run the track. Sounds better, doesn't it? Bass is a bit loud. So there we are. So I've successfully sampled 4 loops, 4 4-bar loops off my OPXY. Let's have a little bit of fun now with the freeze delay. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? Because I love the freeze delay. So on the master track, let's set this up. Effects 2, which is delay. Feedback full on. Send full on. Time at 128, so we can get our 2-beat repeats, our minim repeats. Other page. Tape off. Sync, on, lock, on. Come back to the main page. So function and arrow to get to the page we want, which is delay control. Now we should be able to do the freeze delay, turn the record button off. I've got this all set now. Just pressing pad 16 will bring this timing control into play, which is set at a minim. But if I use 7 or 6 or 5, I'm going to get different levels of the freeze control. So if I press 7 and 16 or 6 and 16, I'm going to get a 1 beat, a half beat going faster and faster. Let's try it on the 1-3 setting, shall we? The timing's critical. I think you've got to leave it as late as you dare for it to work. That's just 1, 2. Yeah, I think there's a danger of being too early sometimes with that. And you can use the crossfader in position A as long as you've got your external synth turned down. Everything works just the same. but it's probably advisable to have the crossfader over in the B position just in case you've forgotten to turn down your external synth. So there we are, these two work really well together. You might remember I said in a previous video that when I used the Polyend Tracker Plus I had a few problems syncing things together, so let's just try that. Let's put something in on track 5 and see if it syncs up nicely. Let's go to the mixer, turn those first 4 tracks off. So track 5, it's a static track, that's fine. Let's find something to put in here. A clap, how about a clap? So yes, so that's got clap clean on it, that's fine. Let's have a look at the function page. We'll leave it on 1 bar so we don't have to add loads and loads of trigs. So if I put the trigs on just 1 bar of this, then it would be the same on all 4 bars. So let's just run this. Playing perfectly in time. Let's put a bit of reverb on that, shall we? Pan it a bit. So we can see that the Teenage Engineering OPXY works really nicely with the Elektron Octatrack Mk.II. No problem bringing in 4-bar loops, they all sync up beautifully. No problem bringing in samples afterwards. I brought that clap in on track 5 and that's working perfectly. What we could do now, I suppose, is have the whole track running. Turn track 6 into a through track, I suppose. Yes. So I've made a through track on track 6 and the OPXY is coming in. So in the A position, we'll hear that and the rest of the tracks. If I go to the mixer, turn the other tracks off. So that's just the OPXY. I've taken tracks out. Come over to the B. Don't hear that at all. Put the other tracks in. Turn track 7 off, of course. So take the OPXY out. It's like turning the OPXY down, I say. Put it back in. No OPXY. And put it back in. So there we are, we've done quite a lot today. Hope you found that interesting. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching and you'll see me in my next video.